Hi you guys, and welcome to my channel. My name is Patience. To my existing subscribers, welcome back. If this is your first time here, be sure to click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you can continue to indulge in the Hot Bella experience. In today's video, you guys, I am trying out the Pat McGrath Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction palette for the first time. This palette was released maybe about a month or so ago, but I'm just now trying it out. But it is a gorgeous palette. I created this gorgeous eye look today. I think it turned out beautifully. So the Mothership palettes are the larger of the palettes that come from Pat McGrath Labs. This is a 10 pan palette. And you can see that the pans are a really nice size in this palette. This palette is very weighty. It's very heavy. It has that luxurious feel to it. And in this Mothership 10 palette, you're getting a lot of the specialty shades. There are only 3 matte shades in this palette. All the others are either some type of shimmer or topper type of eyeshadow. If that's not your thing, then you probably won't be too crazy about this palette. But if you are one where you love to have some of those specialty shades on your eye, where you're getting that glitter but not glitter type of look, where you're getting that trichrome, that shifting type of eyeshadow, where it's just really gorgeous when the light hits it just right, then the Pat McGrath Mothership palettes are going to be something that I think that you would like to have in your collection, or that you would at least want to try out at least one of the palettes for sure. So this is the 10th one. I have all of them, I think, except for one. When she came out with the rose palettes, there was, I think, a Mothership 7 and a Mothership 8 that looked very, very similar. So I only picked up one of those, but there was no way that I was not going to pick up 10, right? So yeah, so this is a gorgeous palette. Again, I used it to create this gorgeous eye look. And if you want to see this in more detail, then keep watching. My brows are done, and I've prepped my eyes using my P. Louise eyeshadow base. And I'm going to use this shade right here. This shade is called Bronze Devotion, and I'm going to use this as a brow bone highlight. And for my transition shade, I'm going to use this shade right here. This shade is called Rosewood Romantique, and this looks to be like a really pretty mauvey type of color. I'm now going to use this shade. This shade is called Extreme Nocturne, and I am going to place this on my outer V and sweep it into my crease area. I was tempted to do a halo eye with this. Do I still want to do a halo eye with this? No, I think I'm going to go ahead and place this on my outer V and just gently sweep it into the crease area, because I do want to use my, what is it called? My Intensify wand from Pat McGrath Labs. That's the medium that she released with the Utopian palette. So I do want to use that today with this Mothership 10 palette. So if the Intensify pen worked with the Utopian palette, it should work with this Moonlit Seduction palette. Both of these shades, the Extreme Nocturne and the Rose Romantique, are both true matte shades in this palette. That's really pretty. I'm going to go back to the Rosewood Romantique. That's this shade right here. That's my transition shade. And I'm just going to soften up these edges here just a little bit. This is really pretty. I'm going to carve out a portion of my lid using my P. Louise eyeshadow base. So I've got my half cut crease type situation taken care of here. And I am going to go back and I'm going to do a little bit more blending now that I've got the lid partially carved out. So I'm just going to take the same brush that I was using for this darker color. This is called Extreme Nocturne. And I am just going to gently just blend over this edge right here. Soften it up just a little bit. I'm going to dip back into that shade once again just to tap a little bit more on the outer V. I want to make sure I don't lose the depth, right? Girl, I'll start blending and blend it all away almost, but I'm going to make sure that does not happen. So I'm going to add just a little bit of that back out there. on the very end, on the very edge, the outer V of the eye. So I hope you guys don't mind me talking through this, because you know what? I know that the majority of you, if not all of you who are watching my videos, you already know how to apply eyeshadow. I'm just kind of talking myself through it too, I think. So I hope that doesn't bother you guys too much. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who talks to yourself when you're doing your makeup sometimes. So we should be all good here. I'm now going to use the Intensive Eyes Artistry Wand from Pat McGrath Labs. So this was a little tricky for me last time, so I have to remember all I have to do is just click up, click up, click up like this, and the product will start coming up. It looks kind of raggedy right now because I was a little bit impatient with it the first time that I got it, and I started digging into it instead of taking my time to allow the product to start coming out like you see there. So I know better now. So I'm using this little silicone eyeshadow applicator here to apply this. And I am going to just put this in the area where I have my P. Louise eyeshadow base. There's no eyeshadow there right now. So I'm just going to place this right on top. Keep clicking up, get some more product out of there. I want to try to do something a little bit different. I've seen some eye looks done using this Moonlit Seduction palette, and it was using a lot of this shade. This is one of those trichrome, I think, type of shades where it does, you can get some blue, you get some purple, you kind of get some bronzy browns in there as well. But I think I want to try this shade right here. And this shade is called Astral Lilac Aura. So yeah, I'm gonna see how that looks. I'm gonna go in with my 242 brush, and I am just going to pack this right on top of where I place the Intensify Artistry Wand Medium from Pat McGrath Labs. So I'm just patting it on. I'm not swiping it. I'm just patting it into place. That's really pretty. I like that. I think I'm going to take a little bit of this shade right here. And this shade is called Astral Gold Lust. I'm using a much smaller brush. I'm going right into that, and I am going to just put that right at the highest point here. Taking it down into the inner corner a little bit. So it's like I'm kind of addressing the inner corner highlight right now, as well as giving a little bit of highlight to the arch part of this eye look. And now for my satisfaction, I've got to do a little bit more blending. So I'm going back to my 242. I'm going to blend the darker shade, which is Extreme Nocturne. Just blend that in with the other shades on my lid just a little bit more. This is really pretty. I'm excited about how this is turning out. All right, so I'm going to go back into the Moonlit Seduction palette again. I'm going back to my Rosewood Romantique, and I'm going to use a smaller blending brush, and I'm going to add just a little bit more definition into the areas where I have had to manipulate my natural crease line. Just doing this at the highest points here. I'm going to add my liner and my lashes. I'm going to finish off my complexion, and I'm going to come back and tell you what my thoughts are regarding the Mothership 10 Moonlit Seduction eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath. You guys, this is another winner in my opinion when it comes to the Mothership eyeshadow palettes that come from Pat McGrath Labs. There's already, I believe, another release that's on the way, and I've got my eye on that. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick it up or not, because honestly, I can't say that everything that Pat McGrath has released that I have in my collection. But in terms of the quality of eyeshadows that Pat McGrath is giving us in these Mothership palettes, as well as any of her palettes, if they are the mini palettes, whatever it is that's coming out of the Pat McGrath camp, you guys, is high quality. For those of you who are familiar with makeup, you know this. For those of you who may be just now getting into makeup, you may not be quite as aware, but just know that if you decide to splurge, right, you decide to make one of those splurge purchases in regards to your makeup, Pat McGrath Labs is one of those brands that you may want to check out, because they have something for you. It may be at a little bit higher price point, but you're definitely going to get what you're paying for. So yeah, I hope you guys liked this video, and if you did, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.